This video is how to create an XbarR and an XbarS chart in Quantum Excel. As a setup, I have data in column A and column B. Column A has the date that the data was collected, and column B was the actual numeric measurement of the weight of a part. You can see there are 4 parts per date. So on 1st of January, we had a measurement of 100.29, 98.59, 100.02, and 98.91. And then on the 2nd of January, we had 4 more measurements, and that kept going on, 4 measurements per day. This is the first data format that Quantum Excel can support. Additionally, you can put the dates in rows. So the secondary format, or another format that Quantum Excel supports, is on the 1st of January, we had 4 measurements, and notice that these are exact same measurements for over here. So there's my 100.29, there's a 98.59, there's a 100.02, and there's a 98.91. It's important to note that you don't need to do both. You just pick one. Pick one that best suits the type of data or the spreadsheet that you want to create. So I'm going to show you how to do both of these in Quantum Excel. For the first format, because the only data in these columns is the data for the control chart, what I can do is just select columns A and B, and then click on Stat Tools, Control Charts, and then XbarR Chart. I should note that the XbarS chart follows the exact same procedure. The only difference is one is a range chart and one is a standard deviation chart. I'm going to go ahead and create the XbarR chart. When I click on XbarR, Quantum Excel is going to ask me the data range and the x-axis range. Quantum Excel does its best to guess. So you can see in the A column, Quantum Excel found dates, and because there are dates in the A column, Quantum Excel assumed that the A column was the x-axis range, and then therefore the data range is in column B. If Quantum Excel doesn't get it correct, then you can reselect the data and make sure that it meets your goals. I should also note that the x-axis range is optional, however the data range is not optional. When I'm ready, I click Next. After you click Next, Quantum Excel will ask you the subgroup size. Because I have 4 measurements per day, I'm going to change this to 4. Additionally, you can change the other options, such as you can change the out of control points and lines, recalculate the control limits. At the top, there's other things such as you can change the type of control limits. There's advanced options such as how do you estimate the standard deviation. And then finally, you can optionally choose to display the histogram or the normality chart. When I click on Finish, Quantum Excel will make the control chart for me. The control chart is displayed as the XbarR chart is at the top and the range chart is at the bottom. For the XbarR chart, every dot is the average of 4 measurements. The horizontal red line at the top is the upper control limit, and the horizontal line below is the lower control limit. And the range chart has an upper and lower control limit as well. The dots that are red were observed as out of control using the out of control checks that are built into Quantum Excel. So for example, you can see that this red dot is well above the upper control limit, so that point is out of control. On the left-hand side are the numeric values for the control limits for both the XbarR chart at the top and the range chart at the bottom. In the upper left-hand side also is a histogram of the averages of 4, and then this is a probability plot and a normality test for the averages of 4. In this case, we can see that the p-value is less than 0.005, indicating that our assumption's normality might be violated. I can make the exact same chart from the other data format. So I'm going to go back to the data range, and instead of selecting the data where the weight is in one column, I'm going to select it where the weight spans across 4 different columns. And then I'm going to click on Stat Tools, then Control Charts, then XbarR Chart. Again, we can select the data range and the x-axis range. Quantum Excel does its best to guess. We can see that Quantum Excel again guessed correctly that the F column contains dates, and therefore it is the x-axis range, and the data range is in columns G1 through J26. This time when I click on Next, we can see that we are no longer prompted for the subgroup size. Quantum Excel is going to get the subgroup size from the orientation of the data. At the top is the option to have subgroups in rows, which is the way our format is, and at the bottom is subgroups in columns. When I click on Next, Quantum Excel no longer asks me the subgroup size, and the reason is because there are 4 columns, Quantum Excel automatically uses a subgroup size of 4, but the rest of the options remain. And when I click on Next, I get exactly the same chart as I got before. And again, you can create the XbarS chart in exactly the same way. Instead of clicking on XbarR, we click on XbarS. The data formats are identical. And that's how you create an XbarR or XbarS chart in Quantum Excel.